If you want to become a successful trader, there are a few basic things you need to understand before you put on your first trade. First, the market is an entity by itself. It moves up, it moves down, it moves sideways because this is what the market wants to do now. The market doesn't care about you, doesn't care about me. The market is going. So you need to understand the ins and outs of how the market, this entity, works, how it thinks. Second, come up with a well-planned strategy, set of rules that works for you. Do not rely on anyone else on social media. Do not rely on anyone else to tell you what to do, because this is the sure thing, the sure path to blow up your account. Make your own set of rules on the technical side and on the mental side, the psychology behind trading. Do not neglect it. Third, risk management. This is the only thing we as traders have full control of. Once we put on a trade, anything can happen. No one knows what will happen next. The only one that knows what will happen next is the market. The only thing we have full control of is risk management. How much am I willing to lose on the next trade? Each and every trade, each and every day, each and every week, we need to put a stop loss. Lastly, trading is a tough business and you're going to face losses. It's something that you cannot avoid, but it's important to stay strong mentally and really understand your mentally and your psychology behind trade. Hey there, Tamir from FIBONACCI'S.com here with the daily market recap. Please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends, and without any further ado, let's see the chart. SPY on the daily, 444 to the upside, 441 to the downside. Below 444, we are heading towards the gap at the 438. Below this gap, this trend line is the next support. Fibonacci trend lines are the true support resistance for price action. As you can see, we have this trend line support, we have this trend line as resistance, then it became support. We have this trend line, look left, support, resistance, support, resistance, support. This trend line is resistance, so it became resistance once again. Above 444, this trend line will become once again resistance. Above it, we are heading towards this trend line over here at the 460, maybe at the 465. Follow price, use levels and trend lines as your risk management and as your guide for future price action. No other indicator can give you where price might be heading next. QQQ 373 to the upside. We have a slight gap over here at the 364. This gap needs to get filled so bulls can gain the power to break up above the 372, and then 390 will be next. Below 364, 358 is the next support. Below 358, this double top scenario will get validated towards the 347 and maybe all the way towards 332. Always prepare for both sides, because frankly, no one knows what will happen next. It's a 50-50% chance, but if you know and truly understand in-depth candlestick analysis, aka pure price action, and the relationship with Fibonacci levels, Fibonacci trend lines, you can, with high probability, know where price might be heading next. Dow Jones 341 to the downside is the support. This gap at the 341.40 needs to get filled. Below it, 338 is the support. And as we can see, also on the Dow, we have two scenarios. If you're a pattern seeker, first, you have a massive inverted hand and shoulders on the monthly, and on the daily, we can clearly see a double top scenario. This scenario, if bulls want to negate this scenario, we need a weekly close above 345. Otherwise, if this double top scenario will get validated, we are heading towards the gap at the 332. IWM, same thing, 185 to the upside, 190 to the 185 to the downside, 190 to the upside. Double top scenario, 182 to the downside, 180, and then this gap at the 176 will get filled. Only a weekly close above 190 will negate this double top scenario. Bitcoin, basically nothing much, nothing to say. 29,900 to the downside, 31,500 to the upside, breaking below this level. Next will be 28,700, above 31,500. Next will be 33,500. All we have to do is sit tight and watch where price is heading next. We always need to prepare for both sides, to the downside, to the upside, and this is why we have Fibonacci levels to help us to know where is the next resistance, where is the next support. Ethereum, as you can see, 1930 is like a magnet to Ethereum since April 2023. Basically, price is hanging around with some anomalies, which is perfectly fine. But as you can see, 1930 and 1864, price is just hanging around this area. But Ethereum looks like it's making higher lows, higher highs. Let's see a weekly close above 1930, and then 2010 and 2150 are next. SOXX, same as the SPY, same as the Qs, double top scenario. 497 needs to hold, otherwise we are heading towards 481, and we have two gaps to the downside, and we know that more than 80% of all gaps will get filled. 517 is the resistance, above it 545. If you want, just take 1 second to hit the like, subscribe, share with friends, will be much appreciated. Help me grow this channel, help others to understand in-depth candlestick analysis and understand why Fibonacci and trend lines are the true support resistance for price action and the roadmap for future price action. As we can see, Apple, this trend line was a very tough resistance for the higher highs. Now, once it broke a few days ago, broke up, now retesting this trend line as support. Doji, which means indecision in the market, indecision candle. Let's see, breaking below this trend line, this gap will get filled. We have a slight gap over here at the high of this day, the high of June 29th. We have a gap. It can get filled throughout yet to tomorrow or Friday, and then back up, closing above this trend line, closing below this trend line. Next support is the 186. Meta, nothing stops Meta. And as you can see, we have a clear road for future price action for Meta. This trend line to the downside, this trend line to the upside, but it's a clear road towards February 3rd gap at the 316. This gap, as we can see, February 3rd, and the road towards it is very clear. We don't need any other indicators because all indicators are lagging without any exceptions. Believe me, I went through almost all these indicators and many more to find the perfect strategy. The perfect strategy does not exist. Do not waste your time finding the holy grail of indicators or the holy grail of strategy. There are none. What we need is candlesticks, pure price action, Fibonacci trend lines, and that's it. AMD 116, as we talked about. If you follow me on Twitter and you saw previous videos like this one, the 109 gap double top scenario is getting validated. We will get some bounce probably to retest the 116 as resistance. If 116 will hold as resistance, we will continue down towards this gap 106 and then 90. So as you saw, if you want to become your own indicator and truly understand price action and know with high probability where price might be heading next, check the links in the description below, and also check the first comment. 34% off Fibonacci Traders program, lifetime access for support, guidance, and as you can see, with the in-depth understanding of candlestick analysis and Fibonacci, we can know where price might be heading next. Check the links in the description below. Become your own indicator. NVIDIA 404 together with this purple trend line is the support. 440 to the upside is the resistance. Above 440, in my opinion, 560 by the end of 2023. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Any feedback, any suggestion, any comment will be much appreciated. Don't be shy. Let me know, what do you think about my videos, about my channels? What do you need more from me to provide you so you can stop following others and prepare your own strategy and become your own indicator? Tesla 275 to the downside. Below it, we are heading towards this gap at the 264, 260, but trend lines helps us to identify that we are in an uptrend. Amazon, another day, another doji. Amazon basically moving sideways since June 23rd. 127 to the downside, 131 to the upside, but doji after doji, doji after doji, indecision for Amazon. For now, Amazon doesn't know what it wants. Long continuation above 132 towards 136 and 143. We have this trend line. Short term help us to understand and see clearly the higher lows. Below this trend line, below the 127, we have all the Fibonacci levels to the downside for future support. Google trying to get back above this trend line and above the 123, but for now, on the short term, Google is in a downtrend. You can take this and see here, short-term downtrend channel until proven otherwise. Microsoft, same as Amazon, indecision with 332 to the downside, 340 to the upside. Above 340, where Amazon might be heading next? No need to guess. We have Fibonacci levels, 351. Below 332, we are going towards 326. Below 326, we are heading towards this gap at the 316. More than 80% of all gaps will get filled, and the sooner the better. Netflix once again trying to break above the 450, but same as the SPY, same as the Qs, we have double top scenario. If bulls wants to negate this scenario, they need to weekly close above 450. Otherwise, we are heading towards the gap at the 421, and this trend line needs to hold the support. This trend line is a very important level. Not a level, but a line, trend line from resistance to support. So it needs to act as support. Otherwise, this double top scenario will get validated towards this gap at the 383 at least. If 383 will not hold, 377 needs to hold. Otherwise, this gap at the 341 also will get filled. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like, subscribe, share with friends. Don't forget to check the first comment. Fibonacci Traders online program, 34% off, July 4th. Discount. Check the first comment and become your own indicator. Until the next video, stay safe.